as a people this morning. So across the world, at some point, there was a hashtag, hashtag activism, Black Lives Matter. And Black Lives Matter was trended across the world, and Nigerians, almost across the world, everyone joining, including Nigerians, harping on the fact that Black Lives Matter. But in this country, it seems like we don't really value lives. Nigerian lives also matter. Nigerians lose their lives on a daily basis. If it's not kidnapping for ransom, it's banditry. If it's not banditry, it is terrorism. If it's not terrorism, it is some group of people who say, oh, we're agitators. We want some freedom. We want to go away. In every part of the country. There's IPOB in the southeast, and the unknown gunmen, as they call them, in the southeast, maiming and killing people. But then, let's bring it back here to the Federal Capital Territory. The Federal Capital Territory, FCT, is the capital of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In a situation where we go about and we're saying we want investors to come into our country, and then the safest place, the one place that you would expect to be the safest, kidnapping and killings seem to be the order of the day. If people are not abducted and killed, the organs harvested, they're abducted and ransom is paid before they're released. And if they're not being kidnapped, somebody is lynching them and robbing them and stabbing them to take their phones or take their devices or take their money. Some people have been attacked at home, even in their homes. Robbed, sometimes in broad daylight, in the Federal Capital Territory. What signals do these send to the rest of the world? To those potential investors who were courting and, trying to convince to come invest in this country. If the Federal Capital Territory cannot be guaranteed safety, or their safety cannot be guaranteed in the Federal Capital Territory, this is not to say that our security agencies are not doing well. No, I've called on security agencies to end insecurity, especially kidnapping in the FCT. Today you hear of people being abducted in Kwali, in Gwagwalada, in Pape, in Galadimawa, just about everywhere. Very recently, a legislative aide of Senator Ned Nwoko was abducted, and according to Ned Nwoko, just a few days ago, he had said that they're not even sure of the safety of his legislative aide, because out of the 19, 12 had been said to be killed. This is really, really heart-wrenching. And the truth remains that the likes of aides to a senator would appear in the news and in the dailies. But how about the other people who are not aides, who are not related or connected to powerful individuals in this country? Do they kidnap, abduction, and killing, or any of those things get reported? Seems like we underreported. However, for psychops, those in the security agencies would understand. Psychological operations. They say, oh, do not say, make them feel like heroes and speak about their escapades or what they do. Keep it on the wraps. Do not make them feel like the victors or like they're more or powerful. But at the end of the day, Nigerian lives are being lost on a daily. Nigerians are being abducted. Even in the FCT, Kwali Abaji people would continue to lament. And sometimes their stories do not even make it to the mainstream. Do not even make it out. We hear that some people in Papi do not even stay in their homes anymore because they're afraid they would be abducted, and in some other parts of the FCT. This morning, let's talk about that. Now, when you talk to security agencies and security operatives, what they tell you is that, well, The people do not inform us. They don't tell us anything. They don't give us information when we want to, you know, swing into action. They don't really trust us. They seem not to trust us. And so this morning I'm asking, why do we not trust security agencies and security operatives? Why is it difficult for us to give them information and help their investigations? You know, sometimes they claim that even the people somewhat provide some levels of protection and cover for the criminals. Why is this so? Why does it seem like we trust the criminals more than we trust our security operatives? Isn't that something that we need to check and correct as a people? Why does it seem like, okay, so for instance, the communities that would on their own collect monies together and pay taxes to bandits, abductors, or kidnappers and all, but would not volunteer information to security agents. Why do we have this situation? Why? I think we need to begin to build trust with the security agents and security operatives. And on the part of security operatives, make yourselves trustworthy. It doesn't make sense that people would volunteer information to you and then the next minute they become targets. The Chief of Defense Staff had mentioned the other day that even they themselves in their armed forces cannot really tell what's going on, because one minute they arrest somebody, hand them over, and before they get to their destination or even get to their cars, according to him, you know, the person may have been released, and the person also knows who it is, who it was that reported them. This is a very big indictment. It's a very terrible situation. Because if the persons who are supposed to prosecute do not go ahead to prosecute, and the person who is a criminal walks free, knowing who it is that reported him, or, you know, that volunteered the information that led to his arrest, what do you think is going to happen to that person? What do you think is going to happen to the person who volunteered that information? So it's just a very dicey situation. You know, one time I spoke with the officer in command, department in the police, and he could literally show you how much work himself and his boys are doing. And you wonder, if they're doing this much work, how is it that insecurity and kidnapping has continued to persist? Maybe because the police is understaffed. They have fewer personnel. Maybe we need to recruit more people. And what's the recruitment process? What kind of people do we even recruit into the police to start with? We've seen situations where known criminals have been said to have been employed or recruited into the police force, or into even the army, or into and the other security agencies. Law enforcement is serious business. Let's not have touts and charlatans joining in the business of law enforcement. Drug-related issues are there. There are kidnappings that happen for political reasons. We do know all of these. But let's talk about this trust experience. If you've had an experience, why is it that you do not trust the security agencies to be able to budget for security, taking up a huge chunk of the national budget and even state budgets, and then you have security vault and all of those things. Yet, insecurity has continued to thrive. Join the conversation. Let's talk. 09073530044 and 09087668888. That is 09073530044 and 09087668888. We need to address this trust thing, because honestly, there are security agents who are really dedicated to doing the job and getting Nigerians protected. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Prince.
Good morning, Moses. Good to have you.
Thank you. You have raised another sensitive issue that is, I think, I need to say that this is number one challenge of this nation, the insecurity. And this issue, I think on your platform, people have been giving several advice to the government, security experts. But I think I think there was a day you invited somebody, he gave an overview on these matters on the ground. The issue on the ground is that we are natural. The factor behind it is that this insecurity is still having a challenge in this country. Number one is corruption. Until the issue of corruption is being dealt with within our security setups, this issue of insecurity can never be dealt with. Another issue again is commitment. When somebody is being recruited into the Nigerian force or any force, you are there to stand and protect life and properties of the entire country. Look at the Americans. They can stand to make sure that they protect their citizens in any dimension that crime is out there. And when there is an information about crime, if you see the way they boggle up with all facilities to make sure that they track these people down, that is another fact. Another one again is that they are natural. Persecution of these bandits, kidnappers, they have never seen them. I don't know whether you have seen one. These people carry guns, terrorize people, come to the town, kidnap people, put them in. Sometimes some of them pay this ransom, and at the end of the day, they still kill them again. And government will fold hands. So that is why sometimes you look at people that they don't somehow get forced again on this security. Look at somebody who called this morning. He said in Kuje, there was an operation where kidnappers come to kidnap people. And again, there are certain points of army with several guns. None of them take action on that. Look at the challenge we are having. So until we come to the drawing board to begin to visit our security system, where we need to address this, because the system of what is going on today is a corruption that has added more challenge to our securities in our time. If these people have not been brought to book, then you allow these people to carry out their evil action. Then many will also join them. Then lastly, the government should look at the unemployment rate. Some of these, and some of them, an ideal mind is a devil workshop. They can easily be initiated, because when you hear some of them that confess, they say they initiated them into it. The first operation, they make money out of it. That is how they were involved in it. So the unemployment should be revisited.
Well said, Moses. Moses, let me ask you this: if you had information on kidnapping, or that some information that could lead to arrest and of kidnappers, would you volunteer that information?
Yeah, I think nobody is shying away. There are information they have gotten. The issue is the quick action. You can't tell me that the securities are not aware of what is going on the ground.
Well, in situations where they say, "Oh, we were not aware, we didn't know, we don't know." People do not report. People do not report as much to them. People do not volunteer information even when they know. So, if you have, say, for instance, a kidnap incident happens in your community, and the police arrives there to say, "Look, what do you know?" People don't like to speak to them.
Yeah, so these people, you know that there is this security hotline. Where there are an incident, where you call them. One even happen. Many of them happen. When they call, they will refuse to speak according to the victim. And sometimes when they are coming, they allow these people to go far after almost 2 hours before you see them coming.
Moses, thank you very much. If you haven't made these calls yourself, then I don't want to take what you say for it. I want to hear from people who have made these calls themselves, and their experience with
we have loved ones. We have loved ones who are victims. If you personally are not victim, we have loved ones who are victims.
Moses, thank you very much.
We are talking about what happened to our loved ones.
Thank you.
And you can't tell me that non-Nigerians can say that they are not aware of what is going on in this country. They are aware.
All right.
Just like a woman had an example last time, that they say he's not aware of what is even going on in this country. And you say you want to be like that woman.
Moses, we've spoken for long. Let me let you go, sir, and get somebody else in the conversation. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Henach.
Good morning, Comrade Haruna.
Yeah, thank you. Prince Henach.
Yes.
I think insecurity.
Talk to me. Tell me about it.
Yes. I'll never forget this day, September 20th, 2020, during that lockdown period. They call themselves 1 million gang. Young boys. They came to where I'm living. I was robbed. I was stabbed.
You were stabbed?
I'm telling you, in fact, I have the scar on my hand as I'm talking to you. Those guys macheted me, pointing a gun on my daughter, a 3-year-old daughter. Like, if I didn't give them money, they would shoot her. I was able to calm myself. They took whatever they wanted to take from me. Police did not report till 6 a.m. This thing happened around 1 a.m. It was raining. That's why that thing has become part of me. Once it's raining, I never sleep. I'm telling you, Mr. Henach, I'm always awake. Once it's raining.
PTSD.
Police did not.
Probably.
Yes. So, to cut the story short, when police came,
did you call them? Wallet. Did you call them when this incident was happening, or immediately after it happened?
No, those guys took my phone. I have no phone.
Okay.
They took my phone, took my wife's phone. They had some money with me. But I think that was what even calmed them down. You understand? All the gadgets in my house, my daughter iPad and the rest, took it and go. So around 6 a.m., before police were being informed, even my immediate neighbor were screaming because of the downpour. Those people did not know what is happening. I can't even. But that is what they told me. They say they did not hear our shouting the way we are screaming. They didn't hear that. Say it was the downpour. Otherwise, they would have called police.
So no one called the police until 6 a.m.
I'm telling you, when I went to the police station, they were telling me that they had the information. They came around that 1 a.m. that nothing was there. With due respect, I will never believe what you say. My reason of coming to the station to report, they took my wallet, my driver license is there, my ATMs are there, they took my phone. I'm reporting all these documents in case they will use it to commit crime, or in their next operation, such things can be found there. They can trace me. I think after 2 days, they now called me to come, that they've made some arrests to come identify some of those guys. I said, no, sir. My life is not safe for me to go and identify myself before those guys. My reason of reporting to you is the safety of myself and my family.
Now, in this scenario, do you think that you helped the investigation of the police?
Mr. Henacho, I can identify those guys. It was late. There is no night. There was no light. You understand? And they never allowed me to look at them. Their torch was very bright. They were flashing torch on me, so I was partially blind. You understand? So I said the reason why I reported those guys, because I'm not safe. Do you know after that incident I have to leave that environment completely for my own safety? So, President Nacho, me personally, I don't trust the security personnel 100%.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for sharing that experience with us. And again, when people do not trust, in situations like this, if you do not help the investigation, at the end of the day, the police and the prosecutors would not have, they would not have anything to prosecute with. they'll be left with no choice but to let go of whoever it is. And they could have arrested the right people, but because there's no one to support or testify and do all of those things in court, at the end of the day, the criminals walk free, because the law is the law. If you don't have evidence to back a prosecution and all of those, you don't have anyone testifying, you don't have any evidence to prove anything, the person walks. Again, the question of trust. How much do we trust the security agencies? And why is it that we do not trust security agencies? Because we cannot be complaining. And when you engage the security agents, they tell you, look, it's not even our fault most of the time. Sometimes we arrest people, sometimes we come in there to investigate these things, and no one wants to speak to us, no one wants to volunteer information to help our investigation. How then do we blame security agents and security operatives when we ourselves are not ready to help them do their job? Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us. What's your name? Sir. Abubakar. Good to have you. Let's hear you.
I think I want to start by asking that does our security apparatus respond to emergency in the dead of night? Our security apparatus goes low as soon as it is sorted. It goes low. Majority of the security agents, you find them in relaxing centers. They have withdrawn their service. That is how the system works here in Nigeria. And it is just the standard of our structure, mode of operation is low, is poor. You find security agent, uniform security agent, missing some, I didn't say all, some interacting with criminal elements. You find an uniform security agent in the border in daytime, heavily armed. What is he doing? So there is a lot of corruption and issue of tribalism, religious temperament. It has penetrated into our security system. So we're keeping the standard, the global maintaining the state apparatus or the state security organization. So anything goes. So that is why our security system is caught nothing. Never the terrorists, the bandit strike. Have we taken the best? Have we do our security men take the fight to kidnap us then? Until somebody is kidnapped, until the train is hijacked, then there's no proactive action. So this is the problem. We have to be serious as a nation. We have to take.
But Abubakar, the security is everyone's business. If we as Nigerians or as individuals would not help the security agents and the security agencies to do their job, how do we expect them to do it? I mean, it's not one person's job. It's not one person's job to do. If you do not feed the if you do not feed them information, they may not be able to actually do their jobs appropriately, because they don't know everything, do they?
In a nutshell, our security system shortcoming is the criminal element so French, where our security system is called nothing. That is the strength of our criminal element.
All right, Abubakar.
Most of these criminals have informants. The security agent have informant among the population. Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling, Abubakar. We need to maybe begin. Before people can trust you, you need to show. that you have earned their trust. So maybe all of the security agents, security agencies, law enforcement agencies, all of you, maybe you need to begin to show more faith and work with the people, prove to them that you're trustworthy. If you don't, there's no way that they can trust you. We'll be talking more. Keep it here.
Guess what, love?
What?
I have found a way to stay close to you during my 3-month project in Ibadan.
And how do you intend to do that?
I'll be home every weekend for the whole period of the project.
But honey, that's expensive.
What if I told you I can now book my flights from as low as 19,999 naira on greenafrica.com for flights in January to March next year?
19,999 naira for flight in this economy?
Oh yes, stay close to your loved ones this season. Visit greenafrica.com now to book your flights from 19,999 naira only for flights from January 14th, 2024 to March 31st, 2024 as we celebrate Valentine in November. Offer ends 4th December 2023. T's and C's apply. Green Africa. Welcome to the future.
Guess what, love?
What?
I have found a way.
Are you a student, civil servant, stay-at-home mom, teachers, military and paramilitary personnel willing to make an additional income or looking for an additional source of income? Look no further. Be my guest tomorrow, 31st November 2023 at Rafi Grand Multipurpose Hall, opposite ABC Transport. Let me show you how I was able to build a 6-figure weekly income with as low as your name to Barrister Tina on 081 30 25 8153. 081 30 25 8153. 081 30 25 1853. See you there.
Has anyone told you you can talk about your business on radio for just 15,000 naira? Get a chance to talk your business for 20 minutes on The Entrepreneur, Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM, Abuja. For more inquiries, call 090-9984-4433. 090-9984-4433. The Entrepreneur. Talk your business for just 15,000 naira. Hurry now.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Welcome.
I'm Ahmad from Suleja.
Ahmed, welcome.
Okay. Thank you for the privilege.
Appreciate you.
Okay, yeah. What I want to say, Nigerian security, we the mass we also have our own thoughts. But so that's that to tell you how high was the rate of corruption within our security agencies. So just there's no security agencies. Just pray that God will just take control and touch their hearts. Let them understand that
Thank you very much. Again, can you blame the people if they can't trust you? When all you've done over time is prove to them that you are not trustworthy. It's so sad. It's really heart-wrenching to hear and see that Nigerians seem to be helpless to the point where they feel safer or they trust that if they pay taxes or pay their oppressors and their abductors and kidnappers and killers, that they would be safer. Doesn't it just feel a certain way that people can decide, look, we don't trust security people, rather than speak to them or even talk to them, we'd rather go and put monies together, bring out our life savings and pay as taxes to kidnappers so that they don't kidnap us. That's a certain level of trust that they have for the criminals. It means that they can actually take the words of criminals over the words of state actors and state security agents. That's really bad. We must do what we can as a people. Security agents, do your bit. Do your bit to ensure that people can trust you to speak to you. And Nigerians, sometimes just give the benefit of a doubt. Sometimes they have secure lines. I mean, there's secure lines that you can call. So maybe give anonymous tips and pass this information and see what plays out and see what happens, if it's taken seriously or not. But at least you must have done your own part to see that the security.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you. It's Obasanjo from Amali.
Good morning, Obasanjo. Welcome.
Thank you. My friend, it talks about security in the country. Do you know that the security is one of the best in the country? In the community, in the city, everywhere. Why? Because the statistics, the security are the first people to know. The statistics, the number of people who has number of registered numbers, certificates. But in our country, we all fail all these ones. That is why you see the problem of security in the country. It's so alarming. Why? Because this security personnel does not know technology. You've been appointed, you don't know nothing. How will you cope up and get, if Mr. President has a problem? It's the function of security personnel to checkmate Mr. President. If me, Obasanjo, has a problem, it's security personnel that will check me. Why? Because I am calling on the radio. My number registered in the SIM, in the NPC. But today, we all fail. People will do all sorts of manner things, but we all fail it. Why? Because we don't know the statistics number of Nigerians. Americans today know the number of Nigerians, but you as a Nigerian, you don't know the particular number of your people in your country. But Americans today, security personnel will come from America and tell you the number of who are threatening Nigerians, who are suffering Nigerians. But you, as a chief of security personnel, you don't even know. Why? It's so somehow in our country. True. If we want to adjust this or to set up this problem out of this, our security personnel need to be well equipped, number one. Number two, we'll go on some certain training to know about security. If we don't, wallahi, we'll go another country. Why? Because this is not a country
all right,
that we use.
Obasanjo, thank you very much. I'll bring you this caller and then we'll wrap it up. Hello, good morning.
What?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for joining us. What's your name?
My name is...
Okay, seems like you just got to say good morning. Let's get one more last caller in and we'll wrap it up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, my dear brother.
Good morning, Alamin.
This is Alamin. On the security issues, like I've always said, if from the opinion, you can just sample the opinion, the public opinion, and then put a reason and logic behind it. And you can deduce that since the beginning of this year, there are certain callers that have never mentioned anything positive. When they call, it is always in the negative. Even when we are having conversations that are supposed to be so soothing, fun and completely away from politics, you see that they bring that sadist mentality.
All right.
The reason why
I would have loved for you to speak to the conversation and let's address the conversation, please. Yes.
That a lot of Nigerians who have confidence in the security, when you go to the very troubled zones, particularly in the northeast and the north central places like Plateau, Zamfara, Kaduna and other places. When you go there and then you see the impact, I mean, when you interact with the people, you know, and the people that are really living there, even in Niger State here, when they begin to tell you the kind of confidence they have in our security personnel, so the little success and the huge successes that have been recorded as far as, you know, ensuring, you know, protecting their lives and property, you would understand that having conversation on radio is different from reality.
Okay, Alamin, thank you very much. You cannot
ground.
discountenance what people's experiences and all,
I'm
because
not
let's leave that. Okay, thank you very much. I have to wrap up now. We have a guest who's joining the conversation. Quite unfortunately, I'm sorry, we would have to just wrap it up there. But let's say this, okay? Until we become serious and more serious about insecurity, we cannot be saying we want to tackle insecurity and then the people who we send to the field to put their lives at risk are not being taken care of. We cannot be paying people 45,000 naira and give them an AK-47 in this kind of economy and with the way that insecurity is, where the criminals seems to be even giving them better offers, making them better offers. If we do not make sure that the people who we assign this task to protect lives and property are not well taken care of, then we probably would continue to be like this. All right, I'll just wrap it up here and bring in my guest who's joining us from Urban Developers, joining us this morning. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us here. How are you today?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Abuja people.
You want to tell Abuja people your name, and then we can
my
get talking.
name is Gabriel Ikechukwu.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Urban Developers.
Yes.
Yeah, we are running this let us call it end of the year promo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for those of I think there are some people who might, maybe at the beginning of the year they were like saying they want to get a landed property. At the long run, they couldn't get their heart desires and all that. But nevertheless, they shouldn't give up yet, because there is still hope. So that's why we are bringing this wonderful promo. Yeah. So we're bringing this wonderful promo. Yeah. The promo runs from yesterday till Friday.
Okay.
Yes, it runs from yesterday till Friday. So hurry now and be a landlord or a landlady before the year runs out. Okay, Urban Developers, we have been into the business for 15 years. So we are verified. We have all what it takes to be we have all what it takes to be partners with to partner with you, to do business with you. So I'll be talking about the places we have land. We don't just have land in Abuja. We have land all over the nation. Yeah, you can be in Abuja, you can decide to buy land at Lagos, you can decide to buy land at Ibadan, you can decide to buy land